Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the engraving to maximize the heroes within the Twisted Realm, the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, as well as the Treasure Scramble with the most dedicated and the most powerful builds that we see within these heroes. Now, we're not going to be taking them to the whale build, but this is going to be premium for the optimal build with the engraving, guys. So we're going to go down our tier list and kind of go through a couple of these heroes. Number one being, of course, Liberta. Now, Liberta overall is one of the primary heroes within AFK Arena, utilized in almost every single game mode, including Temple Rift, including Treasure Scramble, even looking right now within the Abyssal Expedition, definitely has a place in there. So looking at his engraving, we're actually taking it again. All of these heroes we're going to be taking north of the 60 engraving. The 60 engraving for a majority of these are just going to be kind of a baseline. But as you can see right here, guys, the engraving that we do have on Liberta takes him to a plus 67. And that focuses on building up his haste, his magical pierce, and his attack. Now, you'll notice through a majority of the heroes that we do cover in this video that most of them do kind of fall on the same side. Not really so much of the defensive aspect that we're building within here, but it focuses on kind of those secondary stats as we see right here with the haste and the magical pierce. So not only is he going to be attacking faster, he's also be doing more damage with the magical pierce, and then you buff up the attack, makes him very, very strong, especially again when you're maximizing within these formations. Second one we look at is the awakened version of Athalia. Now this one is going to be another one, guys, taking it to an E68. Now you can see here we did an 80, and the reason behind this hero has more utility than almost anyone else in AFK Arena. So we wanted to buff it up to actually get this Endeavor ability, which of course is going to go ahead and give us some buffs for the PvP aspect. But if you're looking to build this hero up to a 68, you're focusing on the attack aspect, which is right here in the middle. And then of course the crit damage and the crit damage amplification, which is over here to the left, guys. Those again are going to be the strongest attributes. So not only are you boosting up the attack of Athalia, but you're also adding crit damage amplification as well as the probability to crit, making her super, super strong within formations, guys. Now, next one we look at, we're going to build out a little bit further, which is Damia. So I know a lot of players, Damia and Liberta are kind of the two that you're going to go in there and you're going to be building out of the Stargazer first. In addition, most players are building either the awakened version of Belinda or the awakened version of Athalia out first within a priority. Building them out again for the utility wise makes a big, big difference. Now looking at Damia, we only have her at a 60 engraving at this point. So we're actually going to build her up a little bit further to maximize the damage. Like I said, the maximize of the damage of these heroes makes a big difference, guys, when you look at other game modes. Now for her specifically, we're going to an E67, which means we're buffing up the magic pierce. Now you look 0.54 here and 0.54 here. That is a full 1% more damage that she is going to do going forward. That is huge, guys. It is over 1% that, again, she is going to be buffing with that magical pierce built up a little bit. Now, in addition on this hero, guys, it is about attack, similar to what we see with all of the other heroes. So we have 16 attack right here, and looking where we're building her. So from 16 to 24 means we added 8% on the attack. And when you look here, guys, boom, the attack shows up right there, but we added 8% stronger, 1% more damage, which means Damia, we're going to be able to maximize the damage that we have within there. And of course, we know that she is a primary hero to have within AFK Arena. Now, next one we look at is a monster damage dealer, guys, which is Rem. Now, looking at a lot of different game modes, Rem is still utilized, but looking at the engraving, we took her to a 63. Again, I feel like we could build her up a little bit further, but looking in here, again, looking at these priorities, physical pierce, same reason as we just seen with Damia. Then we have haste in here, so you're attacking faster and you're doing more damage. And then coupled with that is actually right here, guys. We're going to build up this attack a little bit further. So we get the full 24%, taking her to an E67. And again, when you look at a multitude of game modes, especially when you come at the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor, having these primary heroes built up much higher is going to amplify the damage that they're doing. Next one we look at is the awakened version of Shimira. So very similar, guys. E66 on here, and we're looking to build out a few in here. The attack speed is huge. Then, of course, we also built out right here with the HP. Now, of course, This is a hero that has a little bit of a different build. Now, the logic behind that is the methodology and the way that Shimiro works is based on HP. So instead of going in here and getting the magical pierce, which of course could help the attack, HP and the attack speed are the two that you're going to be looking to build out with her, taking it to a 66 right there, just as you've seen, really maximizing the damage that that hero can do. Now, of course, we have a skin on Palmer, guys, and I love Palmer's skin. But when it comes to the maximization, we are at a 61 right here. So we actually did build one extra node, which I think is right on the side or right on the top. So we buffed up the Magic Pierce a little. Again, this is another hero that we could take a little bit further if we wanted to build up the crit and the crit amplification, as well as the attack node. That would make a very big difference. I'm going to add a little more crit, little crit damage amplification, and I'm going to save this one because I know we're running a little bit low on resources. But overall, guys, again, as a buffer, as a primary hero in so many different formations, building them up and kind of tweaking them just a little bit further than we normally see at the E60 does make a big difference, guys. When you start adding in, again, those secondary substats on there to these heroes, makes them much, much stronger. And of course, guys, the awakened version of Leica. Now, I built Leica up to 5 stars. You can see we have a solid collection on there, as well as the engraving. Boom, we're at 68. Now, 68 is where you want to take Leica. And the big reason is, guys, you're maximizing the attack rate there at 24%. But adding on crit, adding on physical pierce, and adding on crit there. So not only are we amplifying the damage with the physical pierce, the crit is just being that much higher, which means the probability for her critting is much higher. And then you couple that with having the 24% attack rating, means the damage that we have with her is going to be amplified. And we also know that the engraving is percentage based. So as we're adding more stars on there, we are literally stacking stats on top of stats within those heroes, which makes a very big difference. And we know, guys, Baden is another one, pretty much a best in slot in a lot of different places. Taking him up to the 67, again, focusing on the attack aspect. And then, of course, right here, we did the insight for him, as well as the physical pierce. Now, of course, the insight does make a big difference with him because he has his mirror image, or the summons that he does, and the crowd control that they do provide with the summons that he does, or the shadow that he brings up. Makes a big difference with this hero, guys. That's the reason. Physical pierce, of course, going to do much damage. Insight is going to land that crowd control. And then, of course, the attack boost being a lot stronger in there. And, of course, talking about Rem, we're going to look at Amelia. Amelia's engraving, I have her right here at a 60, but the ideal for her is adding some more haste and some magic pierce. So right there is the haste. Right here is the crit. But again, the attack, or we're looking at haste, magical pierce, and attack. So there's the magical pierce. There is the haste. Then, of course, buffing up that attack. So getting a full 67 on her would make a big difference, which, again, I think some of these, I'm going to boost up the haste a little bit. We're going to go with a little bit more magic pierce. So casting a little bit faster, doing a little bit more damage. Definitely going to need some more resources to buff the rest of these up to that higher level. Then, of course, as a major buffer, guys, we have Lavatoon as a support hero. Incredibly, incredibly strong. 67 right here, guys. Again, buffing up that attack. And you can see how we're kind of going on the same kind of lane through here. And then, of course, over here, we're buffing up the haste and the insight again on this hero, making it a big, big priority with the attack. Being able to buff up the team much further than we see them just being at a 60 and taking them to an actual 67. And the final one we're going to look at, guys, one of my favorite new heroes to AFK Arena, which is Ivan. Now, I just built Ivan up to the 60 relatively shortly, but you can see, just like we did before, guys, the haste is going to be something to build out of here. So even building him up a little bit further, taking him to the 67. But looking at this, or excuse me, the 66 is where we're taking him. So building up the haste a little bit more, and then again, going in here and building up the attack in combination with the haste, which means, again, when he buffs up, he's going to buff up a couple other heroes. So guys, those are the primary heroes when it comes to that SSS class. So that is going to do it for today's video, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.